The first thing you notice about somebody's eyes is what color they are.
The colored ring in your eye is called the iris. The iris can be blue or it can be green, but most people in the world have brown irises.
Usually, you have the same color eyes as your parents. This is because eye color is what's called a genetic trait.
That's why my son Jake has the same color eyes I do.
The iris actually doesn't just look pretty and tell us about our genetics. It does a very important job.
The iris surrounds the pupil, the black spot in the middle of your eye, and it has a little muscle in it that opens and closes depending on how much light the eye needs to see something. The iris opens and closes around the pupil to protect the rest of your very sensitive eye, just kind of like this orange in the bag. The more light, the more your iris tightens around the pupil. It happens super fast, and you can't even feel it.
Your eyes focus in milliseconds. You can't even tell that they're focusing. Put your hands over your eyes. Now move them. You can see in front of you without even thinking about it. Your eyes focus so quickly on whatever's right ahead of you. Try it again. Cool, huh?
After light passes through the pupil, it hits the lens of the eye. The lens is what helps our eye focus, kind of like the lens in this magnifying glass. The lens helps focus and send messages back to the back of the eye.
Sometimes people like me wear corrective lenses, either in glasses or in contact lenses. This helps us focus and see better.
After the lens focuses the light that comes through the pupil, it projects it onto the retina, which is a thin layer at the back of your eyeball. The retina surrounds the optic nerve, which sends information from the eye back to your brain. The optic nerves travel all the way through your brain, from each eye to the very back where the visual cortex is on the brain. That's where the brain turns the information that came through your eyes into images. It's actually your brain that sees, not your eyes. In fact, everything that comes back to our brains through our eyes is turned upside down through the lens. The brain takes that upside down information from both of our eyes and turns it into the pictures we see. It seems like all the important parts of the eye are around the outsides. We have the retina and the iris and the lens. What is in the middle? Here, we'll do this as our iris, and we'll use this as our lens, and here's our retina. So what goes in between all that? The inside of the eyeball is filled with a clear gel called the vitreous humor. That's what holds everything in place. Our eyes do most of the work to take care of themselves without even being told to. The eyelid, lashes, and brow keep particles like dust out of our eyes. And our eyes always produce tears because they help keep the eye from getting too dry and even have antibodies.
Even though our eyes do all that to take care of themselves, there are still some things that we can do to protect our eyes, like wearing sunglasses.
The sun creates a very powerful type of energy called ultraviolet radiation that can be very harmful to your eyes. Ultraviolet radiation is also what causes you to get a sunburn.
You should never look at the sun, even if you're wearing your sunglasses. It doesn't feel good and it can damage your eyes. Your eyes are very fragile. And when somebody has a damaged part of their eye, it can cause them to be blind, which means they can't see. Being blind doesn't have anything to do with how smart you are, how funny you are, or how capable you are. Actually, blind people are incredibly smart because they learn about the world without using their eyes. They even learn to read using their fingers.
Have you ever noticed little bumps on a doorway or an elevator? This is called Braille, and it's a special kind of writing that blind people are able to read with their fingers. That's some brain-tastic stuff. See you next time.